Hey guys, welcome back for more Corpse Factory. So last time, Noriko had her second victim, and Shinya actually liked Tomoe, not Noriko. So anyways, let us continue. We got Aoi her job as well. She's gonna work here soon. Okay, the office atmosphere is unusually somber when I exit the elevator. There are fewer people around than normal. Some executives I rarely see on this level are hovering around in one of the glass-screened cubicles to one side of the floor. I spy Shinya standing at his desk, talking quietly on the phone. He's nodding and bowing a lot, despite the fact that whoever is on the other end of the call can't see him. I want to ask somebody what's going on, but nobody seems to notice me arriving. I shuffle my way to my desk and sit down. I spend some time looking over a spreadsheet of today's tasks. After going through it thoroughly, Shinya arrives in front of my desk, seemingly out of breath.
Noriko, has anyone filled you in yet?
What?
No, what's going on? Why is half the office empty?
Oh, did they lay off people?
Well, you see, somebody within the company died yesterday.
Oh.
Oh?
Well, don't tell me it was the woman.
Somebody we know?
Shinya shakes his head slowly, his expression gravely serious.
Nobody you would have interacted with. She was an exec, up on the 21st floor.
Okay.
Apparently, she never showed up yesterday, but her coworkers just assumed she was taking a personal day. People started getting the news in the afternoon. She was involved in some sort of accident, and now she's...
Dead?
Shinya glares at me, his narrow pupils seemingly accusing me of being tactless.
Yes. Dead.
So, I get it's a tragedy and all, but how does this explain where everyone is today?
You should have received an email sent out by HR this morning. Basically, everyone is being offered professional grief counseling.
Seriously?
I think some people are taking up the offer, but I suspect some other employees are using the opportunity to skip out on work. Regardless, what happened to Miss Tsurumaki was a tragedy.
Oh, it's Tsurumaki.
Unexpected.
Okay, it was her. I blink a few times, getting ready to turn my back to my computer. Miss Tsurumaki?
Wait, what was her name?
Huh? Ms. Tsurumaki. It should be in the email. She had a young daughter and everything. It's really sad.
Akane Tsurumaki. It's the same woman. Though I've never met her before, her face appears in my mind with startling clarity. Self-asphyxiation, an accident. She worked here? I can scarcely believe it. It's true that this is a massive company with thousands of employees Japan-wide, but still. For her to work in the very same building as me, it's too coincidental. It doesn't feel right. Yes, it is too coincidental. Would I have gone through with it, killing her if I knew she worked in my building? This scenario creates more questions than answers. The person that requested her death, do they also work here? It would have to be somebody who knows her well enough to want her dead. Odds are high that they work here as well.
You okay?
I realize that I've been spacing out and I turn back to Shinya.
Yeah, sorry, just thinking is all.
Well, grief affects us all in different ways, I think.
This is not grief for Noriko. She's just shocked that it happened in the same office as her.
The details for the counseling sessions are in the email. Be sure to take up the company's offer if you think it'll help. As for me, I think I'll be okay. Some quiet reflection on the matter should help clear my head.
Sure, okay.
Plus, I have a date with Tomoe to look forward to. It's important to look ahead in times like these, isn't it? I think I read that somewhere.
Okay, you had a date now?
Ugh. Yeah, that's what they say.
Very well then. Do your best today, okay?
Okay.
Right.
Shinya takes his leave and I let my shoulders slump. I killed someone from my office building, but I didn't know that at the time. Could my involvement be traced? No, I was careful to cover my tracks. I deleted the photos from my computer, discarded the burner phone SIM card, and trashed the phone itself. There's no way anyone will find out that I was involved. Besides, I don't even know if authorities are treating the case as a murder. As far as general information goes, it would seem like it is truly being treated as an accident. I'm in the clear, I know I am. However, I sure would like to uncover the identity of the person who requested Churamaki's death. The thought that it could be someone I work with makes me way too curious. Despite work being eventual this morning, the rest of the day passed quietly. Even Tomoe kept her distance from me. I wonder if I scared her off and I casually mentioned reporting her to the police. Not that I actually report her. That would lead to the police getting mixed up in my life, and I can't really have that considering my moonlighting occupation. Especially now that I know I have a connection to Churumaki. I brush my hair in front of the mirror in my bedroom. I remove my makeup and reveal the ever so faint bruise on my cheek, the fading token of my fight with Tomoe. Since tonight is rather cold, I decide to snuggle up under the covers in my bed with my laptop. I crawl into bed and pull the plush blankets up over myself. The warmth and softness is immediately comforting, and I have to fight the urge not to fall asleep here and now. To keep myself awake, I check the requests on the website. I am pleasantly surprised to find there are 2 new requests. 2 in one day. My heart begins to race, and I quickly open the messages. The first message reads, request details. Today, 11:14 a.m. No photo. What? I thought I configured the website to reject requests unless an image is attached. This is really irritating. I got my hopes up for nothing. It takes me a second to remember that there's another request waiting. My optimism renewed, I hurriedly click into the unread message. Request details. 5 p.m. Downloading image. Yes, this request has been submitted correctly. The image is loading before my eyes. New victim is in male, early 20s. He's fit and athletic looking. His clothing is casual, so it's impossible to infer what kind of work he does. The photo of him is pretty simple. I don't know if he uses it for his noise profile or it's an ID photo of some sort. Either way, he looks like a happy person. I'm not so naive to pretend that I can't guess at the reason this guy is wanted dead. Perhaps an ex submitted his details after a bad breakup, or a jealous sibling wants him out of the picture. People's motivations are purely selfish. Requesting the death of somebody is guaranteed to be motivated by self-interest. So why did somebody want Churumaki dead? She was so plain looking, so uninteresting. She didn't even look like she was capable of even thinking about wronging somebody. Did somebody want revenge on her? Or did somebody simply find her so dull that the thought of removing her from the planet seemed appealing? I interrupt my own thoughts and return to the task at hand. Dwelling on a past victim won't do me any good if I want to continue my streak of success. This new guy is attractive. It's almost a shame to have to chop him up. Well, we all get what's coming to us. No sense in trying to avoid scaring a pretty face. Beauty is superficial anyway. I know that as well as anyone. No one deserves to be spared just because they're looking good. Beautiful people should suffer just as much as anyone else. Beautiful people do suffer as much as anyone else. Take Aoi for example. She's gorgeous, absolutely stunning, and definitely my type, but she suffers endlessly at the hands of cruel stalkers and patrons. Everyone suffers, beautiful or not. We all cop the crap we're dealt. So why fuss over a beautiful corpse? This guy or Aoi or even Tomoe in a good day. Beautiful people die the same way as the average person. The guy on my computer screen probably doesn't really deserve to die. I'm sure there's some petty reason his death was being requested. But I take all requests seriously. I won't turn a single one down. Corpse Girl's convictions will pave the way to her fame. With a smirk and a lick of my lips, I get to work. I got a nice clear photo here, so I can go all out on the request. I hit up the DD, the database of the deceased, and spend some time selecting a suitable base image. I hesitate between choosing an image of a corpse with a knife in its throat or a body soaking in a bloody bathtub with its wrist slit. Either image would do just fine, but I really want something special for this latest victim. After all, I had to top my last success, right? Another 5 or 10 minutes pass until I gasp coming across the perfect photo. Thanks to my clever use of tags and filters on the DD, this image matches my victim's description perfectly. 20 to 30 years old, athletic build, male. The corpse legs are severed below the knees. Bloody stumps leak their vital fluids from on high. The body is hanging from a set of power lines on a suburban street. It's perfect. Beautiful even. It'll help me create a beautiful death for a beautiful person. I kind of have to question the story behind the photo. I wonder if the police ever investigated and discovered what happened to this sucker. Well, regardless, they'll serve my purpose. I download the highest resolution copy available and save it to my hard drive. My fingers race along the computer's trackpad with practice movements, clicking, tapping, dragging at random intervals. The night carries on. May 29, Friday. My walk through the train station this morning is confident, cocky, self-assured. When I board the train, I even manage to take a seat for the first time in a while. I withdraw a worn book from my handbag and flip open the cover. There's a name scrolled in blue ballpoint pen on the first page, but it has become faded and illegible over time. I don't quite remember where I picked up this book. Maybe I discovered it at a second-hand bookshop. Who knows? I own so many obscure tomes that I can't be expected to recall purchasing every single one. An aged cover and weathered spine both bear the same title. Fosse Photographs, a comprehensive history of photo manipulation. The book is written in English, and it's a slog to work through with my limited knowledge of that language. But I like to skim through it primarily for the photographs contained within. The examples of early image doctoring from centuries ago fascinates me. The book even features a technique in studies as recent as 1993, when it was first published. It's true that a lot of techniques discussed within are no longer relevant in today's digital age. However, there's a hearty section dedicated to the art of manipulating corpse photos, something that I am indeed very, very interested in. The most intriguing aspect of this section content is that the featured artists perform the opposite kind of work that I do. Instead of manipulating images of the living to make them appear dead, the artists in the book edited images of the dead in order to make them look alive once more. In bygone eras when photographs of people were taken few and far between, a sect of artists dedicated themselves to honoring the memories of the deceased. They did this by making the photos taken up upon death look beautiful and full of life. These photos were gifted to the family members and loved ones. The tradition makes sense. Imagine if you lost someone dear to you and you had no photographs of them. Would it be wonderful to receive one last memento, a beautiful image of the way you remember them? Instead of using makeup to beautify a corpse, this artist applied paintbrush and pen directly to a photograph to seemingly bring the deceased back to life. The impressive aspect of this process is the way they illustrated the corpse's eyes to look full of life. Even though it's a far cry from the work I do, I can't help but feel some sort of kinship with the artist discussed in this book. Surely we're cut from the same cloth. Browsing through the images in this book inspires me to work hard at my phone or my own photo editing. Many of the pictures are in black and white, but to me, that only drives home how impressive these old techniques were. I finished flipping through a chapter and closed the book. I hold a tattered tome close to my chest and breathe a sigh of satisfaction.
The next station is Shinjuku. The doors on the right side will open. Please change here for the Chuo line, the Shonan Shinjuku line, the Saikyo line.
I quickly stuff the book into my handbag and get ready to disembark the train. When I'm certain nobody's looking, I carefully open the lid of the large dumpster in front of me. The stench of rotten food and who knows what else assaults my senses, and I reflexively gag and splatter. The staff at the convenience store really need to seal their trash into plastic bags before tossing it in here.
Ugh, this is disgusting. I have to stop doing this.
The raised open lid locks into place at a 45-degree angle, allowing my now free hands to retrieve a small black object from my handbag. It's a flip phone, a cheap plastic thing with a shiny charcoal finish. I open it up and tap on the retro tactile keys, confirming that I've completely deleted all sent messages and photos. Nodding to myself, satisfied I've covered my tracks, I eject the battery from the back of the casing and toss it in the dumpster. I then snap the phone in half along the hinge, separating the screen from the keypad. The screen crunches into pieces with a gratifying underneath my shoes. I retrieve the smashed parts from the asphalt, careful not to prick my finger on the sharp glass. With hardly a glance, I unceremoniously launch the broken parts of the phone into the dumpster. I clap my hands together to dust them off, then shut the dumpster lid and hurry away. I sidle between the brick wall of the convenience store and a narrow metal railing intended to keep people like me away from the dumpsters. Now, in front of the convenience store, I finally feel I can breathe deeply without fear of inhaling the toxic content of the dumpster. I let my lungs take their fill before nonchalantly crossing the street. That takes care of my latest burner phone. Before leaving the office building, I crack the SIM card in half and dispose of it in the combustible trash. Now with the phone itself destroyed and discarded at a different location, my mind is at ease. It has been slightly less than 24 hours since I messaged my latest victim, that athletic guy that I may have briefly fantasized about during my restless slumber. My general rule of thumb is to keep a burner phone for exactly 24 hours after sending a photo. However, I made an exception today. I wanted to discard the phone early to clear my anxiety and get a full night's rest tonight. Besides, it's not like anyone ever replies to the messages I send. I'd love it if I did, but it is what it is. So really, there is no point holding onto the evidence of my wrongdoing for longer than necessary. If memory serves, I wrote tomorrow's date on the latest victim. The victim may decide to kill himself today. Of course, he could end up like Akane Churumaki. But if he's anything like her, he'll hold out until just a few hours before the designated time. He'll let the panic and fear boil and build inside him until he just can't take it anymore. Or someone else along will come and end it all for him. I can't be sure. I still don't know what happened to Ruri Hatano. Did she kill herself? Or did someone else snuff out her life? Either way, I'll start researching obituaries tomorrow. I'm confident that this will be another successful request. If it is, I'll be truly on a winning streak. With butterflies in my stomach, I cross the road. On my route home, I usually like to trek through the small park close to my apartment, provided the weather is decent. I avoid the park in the mornings as a lot of people walk their dogs and I can't risk my allergies flaring up before I reach the office. In the evening, the park is much emptier. I suppose I finish work a bit earlier than most people, so while everyone else is busy, I can enjoy the fresh air and scenery. I make my way along the neat, broad dirt path that connects one side of the park to the other. Wooden benches lined the path at regular intervals, and at the time of this evening, it's common to see a homeless person or two using a bench as a resting place. The city has more homeless people than the general population would care to admit. I try not to think much of it as I walk by every day. I already know that many people have it worse off than I do, but there's not exactly anything I can do to help, right? Should I be giving these people money that I can't afford to spare? Wouldn't I just end up homeless as well? It's not exactly broke. I'm not exactly broke, but I live month to month on my salary. It's expensive to live on the outskirts of Akihabara, and commuting to Shinjuku every day isn't exactly cheap either. Then you add in electricity bills, phone, food. I mean, I don't eat unless I have to. But I'd starve if I didn't buy a meal every other day. And don't get me started on the cost of coffee I drink. If I'm lucky, I can score a can for 100 yen, but more often than not, I'm not paying up to 150 for a single can. Even if I were to buy a canned coffee in bulk from one of those huge variety stores like Don Quixote Coyote, I'd still only save a handful of loose change. And I wouldn't have access to the familiar selection I get at the convenience store. I'm just thankful that I don't go out for drinks after work like most of my colleagues. If I had to buy a few rounds of beer every week, my bank account would definitely dry up. By avoiding that kind of group outing, not only do I save money, but I'm also not forced to spend more time around people. It's a win-win situation. Realizing I'm trudging along the path at snail's pace, I tell myself to speed up my gait. Towards the exit of the park, the silhouettes of two people on a bench come into view. Two people. Let me guess. It's Tomoe and Shinya. The sound of laughter carries on the wind, and I can't help but feel like I've heard the voices before. As I draw closer, a sinking sensation clutches at my stomach. I immediately get the urge to turn around, but I'm so close to home.
Aha! It's Noriko! Fancy seeing
told you.
her here.
Noriko's here.
Tomoe and Shinya. Tomoe glares and flips her long hair behind her with a shit-eating grin on her face. Shinya looks kinda out of place outside of the office. His face is filtered by an especially uncomfortable expression. I start to wonder why these two are here, but then I recall that Tomoe did mention they were going to date Friday night. I suppose it's just my bad luck that I would run into them. On my way home though, what are they doing in Akihabara? I have to assume that Tomoe came here on purpose just to spite me.
On your way home?
Uh-huh. How's your, date?
We're having a blast. Right, Chin?
Yes, of course. A great time.
I wonder if Tomoe has been dragging Shinya along against his will.
Okay, well, I'll leave you to it.
Hey, we're gonna grab some chicken. Why don't you come with us?
No thanks.
I can't think of any worse way to spend an evening than eating with Tomoe.
Please come with us, Noriko.
Why? Didn't you want this, Shinya? Shinya has a dejected look on his face. It's pitiful, but he brought this date on himself. Why should it have to bail him out?
Sorry, I've got things to do tonight.
Are you sure you're not just avoiding eating? Afraid to gain a bit of fat?
I honestly don't know what to say to that.
Say, Shin, you ever seen Noriko eat anything?
Well, now that you mention it, she never seems to eat at the office.
I eat at home, if that's okay with you.
It's not a completely lie. Sometimes I eat at home, sometimes I don't eat at all.
Come on, come get some chicken with us. You can throw it back up or whatever afterwards if it makes you feel better.
Why? She's starting to get on my nerves, I swear. She tries to identify my flaws and insecurities just so she can rub them in my face.
Tomoe, you're not being very nice to Noriko. Aren't you two supposed to be friends?
We're besties. Besties talk shit to each other, right, Noriko?
Yeah.
Right.
Huh. Fascinating.
Anyway, I'm going now. See you on Monday.
Okay. See you then.
Buzzkill. She's such a drag.
I let Tomoe words hang in the air as I walk past her. I'm pretty annoyed that she dragged Shinya all the way here just to taunt me. Is this her idea of a good date? Does she care about Shinya at all, or is this whole thing just to annoy me? Tomoe dating Shinya doesn't even get under my skin. I don't have feelings for him at all. What does get on my nerves is simply the fact that Tomoe is trying so hard to get on my nerves. Of course, it wouldn't be fair if I could carry on my way home without one final interruption. Tomoe calls out to me again.
Your friend Aoi is gonna start work with us on Monday, yeah? Oh, fun. I can't wait to meet a friend of Noriko's.
I grimace. I suppose Shinya told her about that. I turn back to face them both.
Don't even think about messing with Aoi. That girl has dealt with enough crap at her last job.
Oh, has she? Maybe big, strong Noriko can protect her now.
I'd do anything for her. She's my best friend.
Oh, look, Noriko's pretty serious right now.
If you had any friends of your own, you'd understand what that feels like.
Well, I got plenty of friends. And only some of them are sluts like you.
Yeah. I'm going.
I finally managed to disengage from the conversation, even with Tomoe's mocking laugh piercing the air. I exit the park, cross the road, and walk down the block leading to my apartment. Tomoe, I wonder if that girl exists solely to irritate me. I had to tell myself she's not worth my time. I can't let her taunts get to me. Grin and bear it, as they say. That's what stoic, unflinching Noriko would do. Running a hand through my hair, I smile and approach my apartment building. May 30, Saturday afternoon. What is this, a library? I spent all morning trying unsuccessfully to calm my nerves. I'm anxious about finding out whether my latest victim has perished. It's afternoon now, so the time written on this photo has passed. If my work was successful, I should know soon. I've already set up an obituary news alert on my phone to keep me up informed. Instead of sitting all day and waiting for my phone to go off, I decided to visit an old favorite hangout. Public libraries don't get the credit they deserve in this age. They're quiet, calm, soothing. I can sit here for hours for free and just get lost in different worlds. Plus, they always carry works by my favorite authors. Sometimes the librarians are even kind enough to recommend titles that might fit my taste. I don't feel judged here. Nobody looks at me and mocks my clothing or my makeup. Nobody looks at me and asks if I had enough to eat lately. Nobody makes fun of me, that lonely girl in the corner, reading Lovecraft and calmly stroking her hair. Every so often I put my book aside and check my phone out of habit. Still no alerts. Have I miscalculated? Did my latest photo not look convincing or damning enough to inspire suicide or murder? I find myself growing increasingly anxious and impatient.
Cthulhu, huh? You a Lovecraft nerd?
There was this dude, Kojiro. I blinked twice and looked up at the strange man standing over me.
Huh?
Sauce. Didn't mean to interrupt. Notice you're reading Lovecraft. Huh. In Japanese, too. Didn't know this book had been translated.
Yeah. My English isn't great, so I read the translated versions.
That's mad. Do they translate esoteric names? Can't imagine Cthulhu being easy to write in kanji.
Well, it's written in katakana, so...
Course. Kojiro.
Kojiro. The man extends a hand, and I can't tell if he wants me to shake it or pass him my book.
What?
I'm Kojiro. You?
Noriko. Kurosawa.
Nice. Just Kojiro for me. No last name. Call me Koji.
Koji?
You don't have a last name?
Used to. Lost it. Fire, you know. I'm just Kojiro now.
Okay. This guy's weird. His clothes smell like they've been stashed in the back of a closet for a decade or two. His face is unshaven and his eyes are scarily clear and focused despite being masked by a pair of thick glasses.
Didn't mean to keep you. Saws again. I'm looking for Nobel Sinclair. He around here?
Nobel Sinclair?
I mean, I don't know. Who?
Writer guy. Did that book about befriending the dead? The librarian told me to check these shelves.
Sorry, I don't really know.
No worries. I'll find him. You know, you look like the type who'd enjoy his books. Not to judge you by your cover. Need a strong stomach, though. Messed up shit.
As much as I hate to admit it, this stranger has captured my interest.
How messed up are we talking?
Well, his first book describes dressing up corpses, taking them to dinner. Goal is to not get caught out. Bad, right? Like something out of that American movie, Weekend with Bernard? Or something like that. Second book goes nuts. Main character fills the school classroom with bodies, all dressed up as students. Runs lectures and records them, puts them online. Best part? No one can figure out if these books are fiction. Internet says Nobel Sinclair actually did these things. Says he's doing time now, writing these books as a confession.
Interesting.
Right? It's deranged. Makes for a good bedtime reading.
Huh.
You on noise? Well, of course you are.
Yeah. You?
Yeah, at Koji. Add me if you like. We can talk shop.
At Koji.
I'm gonna find Nobel. Wish me luck.
Okay, Koji. And without so much as a glance back at me, the man walks away. I tried to return to my reading, but the whole conversation just replaced back in my head. What a bizarre encounter. Maybe I'll just head home for today. Being here has helped me calm down, but I'm still eagerly anticipating the fate of my victim. Besides, I have to admit that I'm growing a little bit hungry. Ooh, maybe onigiri or a rice ball from the convenience store will tide me over until tomorrow. I gather my things and stand up, letting out a little whoo as I stretch my muscles. As I head towards the sliding doors to leave the library, a little alert sounds from my phone. This is it. My phone is in my hands in less than a second. The screen unlocked and the obituary page loading before my eyes. Okay. Yes. Saturday, May 30. Ichi Hanada, 22. Traffic intersection. Mr. Hanada was involved in a traffic accident. No other casualties have been reported. Mr. Hanada is survived by his fiancée, who wishes to remain anonymous. Dude, how does this happen? This is an accident now. This is not like someone hanged, right? The photo is the exact same one that was sent through the Corpse Girl's website. There can be absolutely no doubt that this is my latest victim. I've done it again. My breathing starts to quicken. My cheeks begin to grow hot. I know from experience that if I don't get somewhere private and quickly, I may very well make a fool of myself in public. I quickly glance around the library for a sign pointing to a restroom. As soon as my eyes settle on it, I dash toward it, swerving between bookshelves and through narrow aisles. There's one door for a unisex bathroom and a remarkable beach portal. My hands grasp the cool metal handle and presses down, only to be met with immovable resistance. It's locked. There's a sign on the door, a notice that I completely ignored in my haste. Closed for cleaning.
Shit!
I curse despite my best efforts to keep a low profile. My head turns frantically, looking for somewhere, anywhere that I can sit down and remain out of sight while my body reacts erratically to my latest success.
Oh, you busted?
Oh my god, now she's talking to this guy? This guy again.
I need to use the restroom.
I hope he can't tell that the expression on my face is not one of desperation to use the facilities.
On it.
To my surprise, Koji strides up the restroom door and begins to slam his fist against it.
Hey, cleaning time is over. Get out of there.
I hear a panic yelp from within. Kojiro's commanding voice was more than a little intimidating. Within seconds, a terrified old woman emerges. She wheels her cleaning trolley around us, bows quickly, and disappears from sight.
All yours. Bad to hold it.
Thanks.
I dash past Kojiro, unable to believe what is happening here. I slam the door behind me and slip into a cubicle. As soon as I sit atop the toilet's closed lid, my legs begin to shake uncontrollably, and I've had to lean backward to steady myself. Eiichi Hanada is dead, killed in a traffic accident. That could mean anything, but I'm willing to bet that I caused his death. After seeing the photo of his dismembered corpse, he might have purposely crashed his car. Or perhaps someone else rammed his vehicle intent on murdering him on my behalf. Or on behalf of Corpse Girl. I still don't know how my power works. I don't know why these victims end up dead. But the cause of the death is ultimately, it doesn't matter. What matters is that Corpse Girl is victorious once more. I find myself panting and squirming, struggling to restrain myself. My visions fog my knuckles and my knuckles clench. And with barely any fanfare, I begin to cool down. All of a sudden, just like that, the overwhelming urge to explode simply flutters away. Huh? My breathing regulates, my legs solidify and rest firmly on the ground. This experience wasn't nearly as staggering as the last time. Maybe because I was so confident that this victim would die, my body already prepared itself for it. Yeah, she got used to it because from the second one, right? And when this happened, this third one, it's not like the second one. Have I already become desensitized to my ability to will death itself? I won't pretend that I'm not disappointed. That exhilarating feeling I experienced last time, the complete and utter loss of control, it was addicting. I craved experiencing it again. Still, I need to remind myself of the most important thing. I fulfilled the request issued to Corpse Girl. That's 2 new victories in a row. 2 new victories in a single week. As long as requests keeps coming in, I can keep achieving my goals. I can do this. Full of confidence and feeling steady, once more I exit the cubicle and leave the bathroom. That strange man, Kojiro, is waiting for me at the end of an aisle.
You good?
Yeah. Hey, thanks for... You know, I really needed the bathroom.
Course. Been there. Gotta go when you gotta go. Look what I found.
What? Kojiro holds up a book with a plain black cover.
Nobel Sinclair's latest. Dazed by the Dead. It's a ripper.
Oh, what's that one about?
Falling in love with the dead. Read it already last year. Time for another go. Oh, here.
Strange flower. Kojiro hands me another book. This one with a brown cover. An illustration on the front depicts a field of flowers.
What's this?
Sinclair's first ever published work. Strange Flower. Title's nonsense. This is the one where he puts corpses in suits, treats them to meals at fancy restaurants. Loaned it out under my name. You take it. Return it before the due date. Can't risk getting fined.
Oh, well, thank you. I'll be sure to read it.
Sure. Send me your thoughts on noise. Right. Be seeing you.
A brief wave of his hand and he disappears behind the closest shelves. I can't really get over how peculiar he is, but he certainly is making an effort to be friendly. I turn the heavy book over in my hands and look inside the front cover for a publication date. 2009 is actually not that old, definitely not as old as the fiction I normally consume. I shrug and hoist the bulky tome underneath my arm, then make for the library's exit. Oh. Okay, I feel uncommonly hungry today. She's going to eat. So much so that I decide to stop by a restaurant and get some dinner. I wonder if killing steers my appetite. I often pass this establishment when I exit this train station in Akihabara. It's an old venue that serves traditional Japanese food as well as popular Western dishes. To say that I've always been curious about eating here would be accurate. I've been working hard lately, achieving my goals. I can afford to treat myself to a cooked meal, right? Why do I find it so hard to justify that? I'm even going to eat at a booth tonight, another rarity for me. A waitress guides me to an empty booth and I slide in before looking at the menu. The house specialty according to the menu in my hands is grilled eel. Okay, not exactly my favorite. In fact, seafood of any variety doesn't sit well in my stomach. I decide to pass on the specials and order something I know I can digest. Omurice. Basically the simplest food. I used to eat it a lot as a kid. Omelette, rice, and ketchup. What's not to like? Plus, it's only 700 yen before tax. The waitress returns to take my order and I confidently point out what I like. She offers me a smile and hurries off to the next table. Perhaps my recent victory streak has given me my courage a boost, because I hardly feel awkward or anxious sitting here surrounded by people eating and drinking on all sides. I'm somewhat calm and at ease amidst the hustle and bustle of the restaurant. I almost feel like it might be nice to have company. A friend perhaps, Aoi, or even Shinya. Might be nice to talk and pass the time with. Oh well, in a way, I do have some company. I retrieve a book from my handbag, the very same book Kojiro lent me, and I open it up to the first chapter. Strange Flower, an odd, apparently meaningless title. Still, it comes highly recommended by an eccentric stranger, so it must be good. My meal arrives when I am a few pages into the book. I thank the waitress and look at the omurice before me. It smells good. It's presented beautifully. I can probably eat at least a quarter of this portion without feeling ill. I pick up the spoon and slice through the middle of the omurice, causing a puff of steam to billow up. Throwing caution to the wind, I scoop up a good amount and bring it to my mouth. It's delicious. There's no other word to describe it. The convenience store meals I normally eat can't even compare to something like this. The egg is soft, the rice is fluffy, and there's just enough ketchup along the top. I take a second mouthful, then a third. I can't help but giggle a little at the thought of myself sitting here eating like a normal person. All the people around me probably think I'm a normal person too. Just a girl sitting at a restaurant eating her dinner. Another quiet giggle escaped my lips and I gently dabbed my mouth with a napkin. I set my spoon to the side and returned the book in front of me. The author of this work certainly is interesting. Noble Sinclair, according to the bio inside of the front cover, he moved to Japan from overseas at a young age. The book was written originally in Japanese. It's not a translation, but even so, the writing style is quite unusual. I can't quite put my finger on what is strange about it. Maybe it's the lack of complex kanji used throughout. Everything is written rather simply, in hiragana, almost like the intended audience is elementary school kids. But that can't be right. The theme contained within are truly disturbing. Maybe the author just doesn't have the greatest comprehension of writing in Japanese. It's true that a lot of adults have trouble with complex kanji. Professional authors, though, not so much. Anyway, it's not like it matters too much. The book is interesting enough to keep me turning pages. I must be completely absorbed in reading because before I know it, a waitress is politely letting me know that the restaurant is closing soon. I nod and look at the plate of the omurice in front of me. The meal has gone cold and I only ate 3 bites. Still, I'm feeling full and I really enjoyed what I did eat. 3 bites? That's enough for you? Okay. I don't even feel any added weight on my hips as I get to my feet. That's definitely a positive thing. I stretch my arms and legs, put my book in my bag and offer the waitress some money along with the bill. Okay, we are out again in the convenience store. Right? A blast of frigid night air nearly sweeps me off my feet when I step out of the restaurant. If I'd known the weather was going to take a turn for the worst, I would have brought my scarf and jacket. It's the end of spring, so unpredictable cold weather is pretty rare. I guess I can be blamed for bundling up. Anyway, it's not raining and I'm close to home, so it shouldn't be a problem. I head down the street and watch a few shop owners closing their stores for the night. They don't pay me any mind as I wander by. My phone bursts to life and rings out in the quiet night air. I grab it and press it close to my ear for warmth.
Hello? Aoi?
It's okay. Aoi.
Noriko, hello. Is this a bad time?
No, I'm just walking home.
You're out at this time of night? That's not like you.
I stopped somewhere to eat. What's up?
You stopped to eat? Say, about the new job.
What is it?
I spoke to the manager at the maid cafe, but he said I can't quit.
What?
He said that? Oh, well, it's not up to him. You have every right to quit. Did you tell him you've landed a new job?
Yes, I told him. But he said he spent so much time and money training me that if I quit now, he'll treat it as stealing from the company and he'll call the police.
What a load of crap! Hang on. Are you at the cafe now?
Yeah, Noriko is pretty overprotective, Aoi. Like, her tone changed.
Yes, I just finished
instantly.
my shift. We're closing up.
I'll be right there. I'm only a minute away anyway. I'm going to give your manager a piece of my mind.
No, Noriko, you can't.
Just watch me. I'll be right there.
I end the call despite Aoi's objections. I can't believe how furious I am. Aoi finally has an escape route from the god-awful job and now the manager won't let her quit? That has to be illegal. I've never met her manager, but I can imagine his type. A self-important wretch, greedy pig. Think he's the king of the world because he runs a shady maid cafe in the back streets. Well, I won't stand for it. People like him are the ones that should be reported to Corpse Girl's website. I love to target victims like that. I change directions and take up a running pace. The cool air against my face is kind of nice now that my body's warming up a little. Thankfully, there is hardly anyone around this time of night, so I don't feel particularly embarrassed by running in public. I'm not terribly fit person, so isn't long before I fell out of breath. I come to a stop at the end of a street, heaving and clutching my chest.
Okay. I'm okay. Deep breaths.
After taking a moment to collect myself, I start to back up, walking briskly this time. I can see the maid cafe's illuminated sign ahead of me. I approach the entrance and read the neon board. Chateau de Cristal, welcome home, master. Drinks from just 400 yen? Table charge 500 yen per person, open till 10 p.m. every night. I pass the sign and reach for the door handle just as somebody hurriedly throws the door open and emerges. Aoi.
Noriko?
Aoi, told you I'd be here.
I'm really glad to see you.
Aoi gives me a brief wave. She fidgets nervously and straightens the ruffles in her dress.
I can't believe you have to wear this ridiculous outfit.
Yeah, but the costume isn't the worst part of the job.
I know. Listen, is your manager still here?
Aoi hesitates, then shakes her head sadly.
You just missed him. There are only a few girls inside closing up.
Damn it. I really wanted to give him a piece of my mind.
Noriko, it's fine. I can continue working here. It's not so bad.
Hell no! Don't even pretend it's okay. This place is torturing you. You have that customer that always gropes you, and now your manager is controlling you? I won't stand for it, and you shouldn't either.
But what can I do?
I'm honestly stumped by the question in all my hastiness to get here. I never even thought through a plan for Aoi. Damn it. That heartbreaking expression on her face. I just want to grab her, hug her, tell her everything is going to be okay. So why can't I?
Aoi.
Hmm?
I know you don't feel like it, but you're the strongest girl I know. All the shit you've dealt with over the years, all the shit you're still dealing with. You're brave, whether you know it or not. My issues pale in comparison to yours, but you still get up each and every day and do your best. I'm proud of you, and I want to make things easier for you. Come work with me at Temujin. Just leave this place behind. Forget all about it.
Noriko.
You're my best friend. You always will be. Even if we can't be anything more than that, I'm happy just having you in my life. I'd do anything for you, Aoi. I hope you realize that.
Of course. I know. Thank you, Noriko.
Let's get out of here. It's really late. Come back to my place.
You know I can't. All my things are at home, and I need to check everything first. Otherwise...
I nod calmly. I understand. I can't push her too much.
Don't worry.
Look at Noriko's face.
I get it.
And the thing is, I can't just run away from this place. That stalking customer, he knows where I live, and, well, if I stop showing up to work, he said he'll visit me at home.
Ooh, she has a stalker as well? Oh my god.
don't we go to the police? I can't do that!
Without warning, Aoi bursts into tears just as rain begins to spill from the clouds.
I can't get him in trouble. I just can't. He's... Aoi, what? What is he?
He's... family.
What? What do you mean his family? A gust of wind blows down the narrow street, causing my hair to whip wildly in my face. I brush it out of my eyes and mouth, only to see Aoi standing still, her head down.
The stalker. He's... family?
What?
I could never bring myself to tell you. But surely you must have wondered why I've put up with it for so long.
I don't know what to say. I'm stunned. You're putting up with it because you don't want him arrested.
Yes. If he goes to prison, the rest of my family will disown me. Then I'll truly have no one.
You have me.
You know what I mean. I'm just going to go home for tonight. Thanks for coming out to see me, Noriko.
Aoi turns on her heel and strolls away, the click-clack of her shoes against the wet pavement echoing through the street.
Aoi.
She doesn't hear me breathe her name as she disappears into the darkness. That poor girl, has something I can do. I don't know, man. Go after her? You just give her some space. Aoi's gone and I didn't lift a finger to try and stop her. I know her well. If I chase her, pursue her, she'll just resent me for it. It took a long time for her to heal the wounds I inflicted last time I pursued her relentlessly. Oh. Okay. The best thing to do is give her space. Let her sort her own thoughts for now. She'll talk to me when she's well and ready. I just need to be patient with her. My phone rings, the sound slicing through the pattern of ray. It's Aoi, of course.
Hey.
Noriko.
The girl bursts into tears and sobs reverberating through my ears.
I can't do it anymore.
I know.
All my life people have abused me, taken advantage of me. What did I do? What did I do wrong?
You never did anything wrong, Aoi. I can't explain other people's behavior. And I can't truly understand what you've been through. I'm sorry. I know that's not what you want to hear.
What do you do when it all gets too much, Noriko?
Me? Well, I mean, you know me better than anyone. When it all gets too much,
I run, I hide away, I tuck myself in my apartment and swear never to leave the safety of its walls.
Put it this way. I don't deal with things as well as I should.
Me neither. When things get overwhelming, my mind feels frazzled, and everything just gets worse and worse. I get caught up in little rituals, little habits, can't break free. I can't tear my mind away from the repetition, from the endless doubting and second guessing.
I know.
I can't keep going like this. Something has to change.
As much as I want to help you, this is something only you can do, Aoi.
Yeah.
But if nothing else, I'll always be here for you. Whether you want to break down and cry on my shoulder, or use me as a punching bag, or just vent to me, I'll be here.
Noriko. Thank you. I think you finally understand.
I'm trying, girl. I really am.
I'm going to make a change. I'm going to quit my stupid job and join you at work on Monday. I promise. I promise I am going to get through this.
I know you are. I never doubted you.
Thank you. I'll talk to you later, okay?
I'll look forward to it.
Aoi and Sakal. I'm not sure if I feel better after the discussion, and I can't honestly tell if Aoi feels better either. I sigh and look up the thick cloaks of clouds above. The rain continues to fall. Okay, so we'll end the episode here, guys. Yeah, it's so sad for Aoi, but she said she's gonna quit. But who is the family though, right? The one stalking her is family? And we met another guy, or a guy named Kojiro. Suspicious? I don't know. Mysterious, yeah, more mysterious guy. Anyways, we'll continue this in the next episode. So I'm gonna see you then, guys. Bye bye.